Meg Thee Stallion. Her album Traumazine is on pace to sell 50K first week. The release of the project will officially make her a free agent. A lot of people have been asking me, Ak, are you going to certify this as a flop? I will be honest with y'all. I will not be certifying what Meg is doing with this project as a flop. She is releasing this. She did it as a surprise release to get out of her contract. She's been going through a lot of battles, a lot of lawsuits. I've seen them all because Meg made it her business to get at me, so I'm all in her business. Every lawsuit she files, I see. She's been unhappy with the label. She's been trying to get off, and this was a move to get her off. Now, granted, if Meg Thee Stallion sells this on her next album where she's able to pick her situation, pick her management, she's already with Roc Nation, I will definitely consider it as a flop. But this was a move to be free. Okay? It would be disingenuous and just biased, even if me and Meg don't see eye to eye, to say that she's a flopping because she has tried to rush out a project. Meg hasn't been trying to give this label her best work, the best promotion, and we do have to acknowledge that. So I will give her a pass for this project. 50K first week, I will not consider a flop, okay? And I just have to be honest because knowing and understanding what these artists are going through contractually is me evolving as not only a reporter, but someone who understands the business. The next person who I have to get to, obviously, is NBA Youngboy. He eventually did lose to Bad Bunny. The Billboard actually certified his album for 6,000 copies less, and Bad Bunny got actually certified for like 1,000 copies more, I believe. Here's the thing. They're saying that a lot of Youngboy streams that they thought it would have counted basically did not count, and Bad Bunny did win. So for the Youngboy fans that are asking what happened, when you see me report everything, and even most times, even up until Saturday, Billboard normally agrees with what I'm saying, right? It's never that close. This was so close, it was down by 400 records. And I know what some of y'all are thinking, oh, this is rigged, this and third. I'll say this. If you're looking for someone to blame, I do wholeheartedly think you do have to blame yourselves. If you're Youngboy fans, stop the trolling, stop the YB better, get to streaming. Let's do that, okay? I say that to the Barbs, but I'm going to have to say to y'all because that YB better shit don't look too good when that nigga number 2, okay? Who are you better than? Number 3? You're better than number 1. You got to be number 1 when you're doing that YB better shit. So all y'all fans, y'all got to get it together, right? So number 1, I'm gonna get it at the fans. Number 2, I'm gonna blame Youngboy a bit. Youngboy, I know he does care about this project, but this is an industry, and the way the numbers work is that you have to have some input and be involved in the process. And I know he may have communicated with his fans a bit, but he is absent of the process that makes that stuff work. Here's the problem with Youngboy. Everybody looks at his fan base, and I'm telling you right now, at this moment, Youngboy has more fans than a Kendrick, well, I won't say Kendrick, than a J. Cole, and even some people you might see sell over 250. He has more raw fans. The difference is they play the game. And when I mean play the game, it's not necessarily meaning they're whoring themselves out doing whatever, but they understand how to sell records. Youngboy's fan base is coveted by so many people in the industry. I know niggas who have sold 140 on their last project. I won't even say their name. When I talk to them, you know what they say? They say they wish they had Youngboy's fan base. So how are they outselling Youngboy? Let's start doing the math. Youngboy has a raw audience, but Youngboy could do a lot more. And unfortunately, the litmus test is the industry. There is nothing that accurately, maybe you could be like, oh, how many comments he gets in certain time, how does his YouTube go? But you can't really judge his authentic, organic fan base, which everybody wants. We're judging on the industry. If we give half of these artists Youngboy's fan base in terms of numbers, they're selling 300,000. Youngboy should be easily selling 150. There's a bunch of blame to go around. He gets some blame. His fans definitely get a lot of blame. And also, I got to give some blame, at least for this project, I'm going to give it to, of course, Atlantic. It wasn't Atlantic's best interest to go crazy with this album. And by the way, I could imagine with Youngboy, I don't think he'll speak on. I think Youngboy was a little bit betrayed by Atlantic. I'll tell you why. He didn't have to submit 30 songs. He did that because as a note of good faith, being a great businessman, even though he's given, let me give you the stats. Niggas signed like a 4 to 5 album deal and gave them 23 projects. Make that make sense. They own 23 of his masters. 23 projects. These niggas, if they sign a deal for 4 albums and they drop 6, they mad. Imagine signing a deal for 4 or 5 and you gave him 23. That's at least a 5 times multiplier. So when he knew he was leaving, he gave them an overwhelming amount that y'all can't try to hold him up later on because y'all couldn't come to an agreement. He gave out 30 songs. Now, here's the thing. I looked at his whole rollout. I think they did a decent job spending money on like billboards and shit like that. But I don't believe it was in the full interest of Atlantic to make sure he was pushed to the ultimate capacity because at the end of the day, he's walking into another situation. Youngboy made it clear with Atlantic that he was not staying because of they couldn't reach contract resolution with what he wanted and what they could give. A lot of that had to do with him wanting a lot of his masters back. They were not willing to budge. They wanted to give him more money, but he's at a point where he says, fuck the money, I want the cash. No, fuck the money, I want the rights. And they weren't willing to do that. So let's think about it. Atlantic is happy to have 30 songs. They're going to own it. They're not going to sell it back to him. They've expressed to him that they don't want to sell it back to him. They don't fuck selling it back. They want to give it back. They want to own it for life. So they're going to own 23 projects of NBA Youngboy's catalog forever. And for them, it's like, we don't want to give you the hottest start that you roll into your possible next situation, whether it's independent or otherwise, that we are basically losing out on your next project. You go get yourself back hot, or you go sell 200 on your own. But whenever you do sell 200, remember those 23 projects you gave us, we're going to make money off. Because we ain't selling it back to you. And we're going to keep making money off of it. Because that's the game. That's the reality of it. So just like how I'm not going to call Meg Thee Stallion's album a flop. Because she did it to get off 1501. And I've talked to Cole Crawford. He's a cool guy. I hope to get him the pod. But of course, Cole Crawford want to make as much money as he can. But at the end of the day, he's still going to own those masters. He is. But he ain't going to put his last dime into promoting Meg when Meg walks free. The 2 free agents who are the most important right now is NBA Youngboy and Meg Thee Stallion. We know where Meg Thee Stallion is going. Meg Thee Stallion is going straight to Atlantic. She's going to sign with Atlantic. I believe that she'll be commanding a 8-figure deal. She will see the majority of that money and don't have to bust it down with nobody else. She will be happy. Youngboy will be seeing a high 8-figure deal, but he has a lot more to leverage. Masters and a lot more stuff. I'm going to keep it even. They both dropped this project to get off their labels. They both free agents. You can't tell me when a nigga been a free agent. I just interviewed PNB Rock, he say he's independent. Is he independent because he's a free agent, or is he independent because he got dropped? Is Meek Mill independent because he's a free agent, or is he independent because they decided a buyout or any type of termination of that contract was ready? Because let me tell you this, when you're a free agent after you drop a project, there's a bin war instantly. There's a bin war before the project dropped. And a lot of those people, I ain't hear about no bin war. I ain't hear about nothing until long after their project dropped. Unlike Youngboy, which we all knew was his last album. Unlike Meg Thee Stallion, which surprisingly, when she dropped her shit, last project. So, I know some man be like, oh, IQ coping. You chilling. What was you doing? I'm telling you from my heart, Youngboy should be a artist that sells over 200,000 copies first week. That's what I believe. That's what I seen his audience to be. That's what I watch niggas. I've watched niggas who sell more than him basically say, damn, if I had that fucking fan base. So I ain't never going to say, oh, it's a dub or a big dub with Youngboy not selling over that. But I ain't going to call it a flop because I understand he was trying to get out of the situation. So now Youngboy's on the clock. To me. Wherever you go, you have the ultimate cars. You're the top 2 streaming artists in the last year. If it ain't Drake, it's you. And when the niggas try to play you up like, oh no, he's doing it by just doing quantity, fuck quantity or whatever, you're doing the numbers. You control all the cards. You control where you could go. You control the money you could get, the leverage you could have, the rights you could own. But you could press and leverage these motherfuckers to give you any type of promotion, anything you need to succeed. And by the way, knowing that, I know Youngboy ain't a sales type of nigga. But you don't got to be a sales type of nigga to realize that what you're doing for a label, they should be treating you as the guy. Atlantic don't got no Youngboy over there. Atlantic should be spending easily 8 to 15 million promoting your shit if you were still there. So wherever the fuck you going, they should be able to do that plus more. That's where I'll leave my opinion at it. I do think it's disappointing that he didn't get the number 1. But again, coming off Atlantic, what we expect. We should see much better shit where he's able to control your narrative. And by the way, I think he knows himself. All that cussing out Atlantic shit, you off Atlantic. That shit's a dub. What you gonna do? Which label you about to cuss out now? You got to do it now. You got to do it. Because where people have seen or projected your fucking peaks to be is so fucking high. It includes, let me give you an example. See, Youngboy is a nigga who ain't never really been industry, but so was XXXTentacion. Let me tell you this, at the end of his life, or towards the end of his life, you know what X realized? All that you don't want to be mainstream shit, you're a pop artist. You're too big. You got to get with it. You're the guy. With the amount of money they gave his family, well, actually gave him, really. Y'all know the contract that X signed before he died? That's why y'all all mad at his mom. Yo, why his mom keep dropping me? Yo, X signed a deal that he was getting them bands, nigga. And when I mean bands, really them millions. And when I mean them millions, tens of millions. You gotta keep dropping. That's what I'm trying to say. Youngboy is at that point. He's at that point where I don't think he could be an underground artist anymore. He can't be the artist that only the YB Better fan base loves. He's a international superstar. And if he rejects that, That's on him. But he gonna lose a lot of fucking money because everybody who want to invest in him, just like how they gave X that bag, they're gonna give YB that bag to say, yo, we'll give you the bag, but you gotta be the fucking pop star. Not the underground star. Not the YB better star. We want you to be that pop star. We will see what happens, people. Okay? So I do not call either a flop. I do reflect and I will acknowledge because I know I don't want people to say I'm biased at all. Yes, Dirk did outsell Youngboy. Facts. Meg did not sell close to any of her counterparts. Facts. I will give both a pass because they're out of their contract. And by the way, if that's the case for any other person, if we know they're going to get out of their contract, hold me to the same standard. If I'm not giving a nigga a pass when he's supposed to be out of his contract, call me a hypocrite. I just know your label ain't going to go too hard for you because they own your shit anyway. And they ain't trying to give you a head start going to your new situation. See Meg, see Youngboy. All right, okay. Let's keep this stuff going.